Thank you, Danny. More online classes, district charter schools, and private sector partnerships. All of this to improve classes in arts, music, and psychology. They are proposals laid out tonight by the superintendent of Grand Rapids Public Schools. We told you about some of these ideas at 6 tonight. 24-hour News 8's Tony Televilla is live in studio with details on these plans and when they could be put into action. Tony?
The superintendent told us some of the ideas could be in place by next school year. Administrators say tonight's speech wasn't about the short-term budget problems facing nearly all Michigan schools, but about big-picture ideas and changes. Superintendent Bernard Taylor set those up by arguing that the public school system is based on a broken model.
So our public education system is also built around rules and policies and laws that are more focused on protecting the status quo, adult interests, and sometimes geographic strongholds as opposed to, again, what is in the best interest of students.
Superintendent Bernard Taylor says the century-old traditional public school framework does not fit 21st century students. So he's proposing offering more online classes alongside more traditional options and a blend of both.
So students will have 3 choices. Parents will have 3 choices for how a student will be taught.
The superintendent is also proposing partnering with private sector groups to improve the quality of elective courses by creating focused hubs.
What about a center of theater production and performing arts? Now, we envision the partners being the Civic Theater, Opera Grand Rapids, the Grand Rapids Ballet.
Other hubs would focus on music, human services, leadership, and the visual arts.
Will it mean that students might have to travel differently to and from school? Yes.
The superintendent's other proposals include district-sponsored charter schools and sharing services with other districts. He gave the speech flanked by high-profile business and legislative leaders. Steelcase CEO Jim Hackett called Taylor the right leader for GRPS. Republican State Senator Wayne Kuipers and Democratic House Speaker Andy Dillon talked about the district's track record on reform.
The example that you're setting will not be lost on the rest of the state.
As for the new changes, the head of the teachers union wants to make sure administrators take their time.
Because we're talking about big issues. Transporting kids at the end of the day, every day all across the city, replacing, possibly some jobs with technology.
The union leader also has concerns about who will be hired to monitor online classes, since it likely won't be regular teachers. He says some of the changes here are ones that would normally be bargained with the union. Up next for the superintendent is presenting a budget. We'll see how administrators plan to close a multi-million-dollar gap and what, if any, role these changes will play in that. Brian?
Tony, thank you. Before coming to Grand Rapids, Superintendent Taylor served in the same capacity in Kansas City, Missouri. Tonight, in his former school system, huge radical cuts announced. The city school board voting to close almost half of the district schools and lay off 700 employees, nearly 40% of them teachers. The Kansas City Star reporting that Taylor tried and failed to close schools back in 2005. This year, the district is facing a $50 million shortfall. Their enrollment is half of what it was a decade ago.